Hello, SquirrelTribe. I was thinking earlier how nothing really makes sense anymore if you want to go into the political spectrum of everything. Nothing really makes sense anymore. And it made me think of the Mandela Effect. And the reason I bring up the Mandela Effect is because I swear I watched a movie called Shazam with Sinbad in it when I was younger. And so I went searching today for, poops and giggles. We'll say it that way. I'm trying to be good with the words now. I went searching for poops and giggles to see if Shazam was really a movie with Sinbad in it. I know there's a Shazam movie that came out a couple years ago with some tall white dude with brown hair. I watch it with my daughter. It's a cute movie, whatever else. But I swear there was another one. So I go searching. And the reason, besides just that, was I was thinking about a lot of different things about Biden and the Mandela Effect of he's great, but he's not. And now you don't remember if you heard him stumble over words, or did you not hear him stumble over words? You heard that he had prostate cancer, but now you don't hear anything and he's gallivanting around the world. Does he actually have prostate cancer? Those feel like Mandela effects to me, right? And I know that's not the exact meaning of Mandela Effect, but it gives me that thought process where you swear you have seen something or heard something, but everybody else tries to convince you, no, you haven't, it's not real, you're losing your ever-loving mind, which I don't like feeling like I'm losing my ever-loving mind, and I'm sure you guys don't either. But I know all of us have felt like we've been in this Mandela Effect moment for quite a while. And so anyway, I was looking up this whole thing on Shazam, and I just want to share this with you because I thought it was funny, because between Shazam and Fruit of the Loom, I'm sure we've all had these Mandela effects. I remember wearing Fruit of the Loom t-shirts and things when I was younger, and I could have sworn it had a cornucopia on it. You know, the little fruit basket thingy, cornucopia, however you're supposed to say it. I don't know, I guess it depends on your accent. Like my husband says syrup, and I said syrup, and he says compass, and I'm like, compass? And just pecan, pecan, all these different things, depending on where you're from, depends on how you phrase or say different words, and it's always very interesting to me. But either way, cornucopia. So I always thought Fruit of the Loom had cornucopia, so I did a little research on that too. And this is what's crazy, and this is why I'm bringing this up. So Fruit of the Loom has officially stated their logo has never, ever in the history of Fruit of the Loom has it included a cornucopia, despite widespread public belief to the contrary, often attributed to the Mandela Effect, right? It says no verified evidence such as historical advertisements or trademark filings supports the existence of a cornucopia in their logo. The company's logo has consistently featured fruits like apples and grapes and leaves since its inception in 1893, which, number one, I did not realize that Joker had been around for almost 130 something years, because math, whatever, over 130 years, with various design updates, but no record, once again, of the cornucopia, whatever. Claims of its use, including alleged photos or trademark documents, have been debunked as either forgeries or misinterpretations, such as canceled trademark application that mentioned a cornucopia but was never used. Therefore, there's no point in time when the Fruit of the Loom stopped using a cornucopia, as it was never part of the official branding. So they say they couldn't have ever stopped using it because they never actually had it. They never actually used it. And I'm thinking to myself, no, I'm pretty sure I saw a cornucopia. And again, the reason I bring this up is because when it says these have been debunked as either forgeries or misinterpretations, my brain then went to the Epstein files, which we're not talking about because we're not going political, but it's the same thing. I have the whole thing of them sitting on my desk, Pam Bondi, and then, there's not really anything out there. It's not a big deal. It's fine. And then, I want the courts to look at it all and open it up. I don't like what the courts are saying, so maybe not. It's a whole thing, and it feels very Mandela-ish. Like, we know we heard you say you had all this stuff and a client list sitting on your desk, and then we didn't hear you say that? That's not what you said? Okay. But so Fruit of the Loom, right? So they say that there's nothing there. So then I'm like, all right, let me just go ahead and pull this up, because I pulled up some pictures here that I want you guys to see, and y'all tell me if this looks like something that is real or not, because in my opinion, and then we're going to talk about Shazam and Sinbad, and the whole reason I'm doing all this is to show you how with today's technology and today's AI and everything else, how will you ever know what is real and what is not real, or what was real and what was not real? It's all going to cause such mental, effery, we're all going to wonder if we are bat poop crazy, because nothing is going to add up anymore. So I want you guys to see this. So this is Fruit of the Loom. All right, the Fruit of the Loom cornucopia conspiracy is hands down my favorite. This is what this person said. The leading theory is that someone is out there secretly printing fake logos and distributing them nationwide just to watch the world burn. Basically, Mandela Effect, no, chaos agent. That's what they say. So they're saying that this is fake and that Fruit of the Loom was never really there. Same thing with this. They're saying that tag is not real and it was never real and there was never a cornucopia, right? They're saying this isn't real. And so you see this and you go, well, it does look fake, but it also maybe not, because you see the writing in the background behind it, but you can tell that's two tags. Remember, t-shirts would have the top tag with like the logo. The bottom tag is the care instructions on how to wash a t-shirt and how to dry a t-shirt and with the size and stuff. So this, to me, I would see it and go, oh, that's real. Because I don't know how to tell anymore what is real and what is fake sometimes, because AI is so good and the people running AI are so good. Look at this. How real does that look? You want me to believe that this is not real? So what is actually real? Did the cornucopia exist or did it not? Are they effing with us for some reason just to watch the world burn? Like, I don't understand. The reason it's important, and like I said, the reason it's important, for those of you who've never heard of Shazam, I'm going to show you the video thing first. So this is Sinbad. That is the poster that I remember seeing from Shazam, and there is a videotape of the movie Shazam. Okay, now the reason, again, this is important, there's lots of reasons, but I'm going to give you more information here. So Shazam is a huge one that people talk about every year. I mean, I've heard people talking about Shazam since I was a kid on if it's real or not, and I'm like, I just watched it, of course it's real. But the idea, so they're saying that the internet has erased the movie Shazam. All right, because I asked Grok, I was like, let me see what Grok says about this. I said, why has the internet erased the movie Shazam with Sinbad? To which Grok says, listen, the idea that the internet has erased a movie called Shazam starring Sinbad is a fascinating case tied to the Mandela Effect, a phenomenon where a large group of people share a vivid but false memory of an event, or in this case, a movie that never existed. There is no evidence that a feature-length film titled Shazam, starring Sinbad as a genie, was ever made. No IMDb entry, which is that movie database, which I looked and nothing came up, okay? No VHS tapes, although I just showed you a picture of a VHS tape. No studio records, and Sinbad himself has repeatedly denied its existence. That's the funny part, because I'm going to play you a video in just a moment. Here's an explanation of why this belief persists and why it seems like the movie has been erased. So they're trying to say you're confusing Kazam with Shazam. Kazam was a movie with Shaq in it. Shaq can't act his way out of a paper bag. I would not confuse that. Not that Sinbad's any better, but Sinbad did a pretty decent job in that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jingle All the Way. I'm pretty sure that's the one where he was the bad guy, he was the male guy, and he was the bad guy. Sinbad, not Arnold. Arnold was the overworked, forgetful dad who at the last second needed to get his kid a Christmas gift, or else, his kid was going to hate him, that kind of thing. So they're saying that they're confusing it with that movie, number one, because I guess all black guys look alike, although one's dark as hell, Shaq, and one's extra light-skinned, Sinbad. Number two, they're saying that Sinbad's genie-like appearance, so Sinbad, his real name is David, he hosted a Sinbad the Sailor movie marathon on TNT in 1994, where he dressed as a genie, in a genie-like costume, complete with a turban and earrings. This imagery, widely seen by 90s kids, which technically I'm an 80s kid, but I was still a kid in the 90s, may have fused with the genie concept in people's memories. Additionally, Sinbad starred in the 1994 TV movie Aliens for Breakfast, where he played a quirky character from a cereal box, which shares some thematic similarities with Kazam, not Shazam. And I'm just curious, how would an entire generation of kids, people in their 40s like me, have Mandela affected this movie that they're saying did not exist? The reason, again, this is interesting to me is because it says the Mandela effect occurs when collective false memories form, often reinforced by social interactions. Online discussions, particularly on platforms like Reddit, have amplified the Shazam myth since at least 2008-2009, with a surge around 2016. People share detailed memories of scenes like a girl's broken doll, a pool party, a candy rain scene, which may actually stem from Kazam, which whatever. And then other people are saying that it was an April Fool's prank from 2017 where they pretended there was a movie called Shazam. Well, I was not a child in 2017, so that part does not compute for me. Well, that's not the right word either. But I want you guys to see this. I think this is the part. Is this the part? So this is where it gets interesting, because you know, on X, when something is not real, they have the community notes. And community notes are slapped on all kinds of things on X. When you put up anything incorrect, the community notes just come flowing through to let you know that you're an idiot and you've posted something stupid. I think it's happened to every single person if you get something wrong. Like if right now, today is Saturday, July 19th, it is 4:37 p.m. Central Standard Time, where I live in Florida. And yes, there are parts of Florida that are Central Standard Time. People like to correct me all the time. And I'm like, but I live here. So I think another time I am like this close to Alabama. Alabama is Central Time. So that's anyway. What was I saying? Oh, if I posted right now on X and I said today is Saturday, July 20th, there would be a community note like almost immediately where they're like, no, but today is Saturday, but it is July 19th. Tomorrow is the 20th. It would correct me immediately. This video of Sinbad has not gotten community noted ever. And I want you to hear what he says. Listen.
Shazam, when I was growing up, yeah, you did. It did exist. It took a lot of government intervention to get those videos out of people's homes and out of the video stores. I'm lucky.
Okay, that's all I can play because I heard music in the background and it'll mess it up. But you have him, and I'm like, is this real? Is this AI? Because it looks like Sinbad, like way back in the day. Obviously, he doesn't look like that now. He's had some health issues big time. I don't even know if he's still alive, to tell you the truth. I know he had some health issues and was wheelchair bound and all this other stuff. But that video came out, and there's not a single community note on it. And I have seen this video posted numerous places because I started looking for it. Not a single community note. So that means that in theory, this video of Sinbad saying that number one, the movie was real, but also that the government, for some reason, found ways to get those VHSs out of people's homes. Does that mean that that is real too? How in the HE double hockey sticks would a government entity or official get into your home to get into your child's VHS collection to steal Shazam? So I'm very, very confused on all of this. But again, the Mandela Effect, I was thinking about it because I was thinking about all kinds of random stuff because squirrel brain. And my family and I, we went to the beach this morning, okay? We got up at 6 o'clock. We left the house at about 7:15, and we went to the beach. Myself, my husband, my mom, and my mother-in-law. Our daughter, she's a teenager. She went to sleep. She could give two craps about the beach. We went to the beach so my mom and mother-in-law could walk the beach while my mother-in-law's here on vacation. My husband and I sat around in the sun because I needed some sun. And because, you know, it's good for you. It is good for you to get some vitamin D in your life every once in a while. And some, you know, take the word vitamin away, ladies. Get a little, that'll help you too. But we hung out at the beach for a couple hours. And I was thinking to myself, like, when I was younger, if I wanted to do something, nobody ever told me, go watch TV. They said, take your ass outside, sorry, outside, go ride a bike, go play catch with yourself, because I'm an only child. I guess that's where handball started, where you just were throwing crap at a wall because you didn't have anything else to do as an only child. You're like, fine, I'll just throw this tennis ball at the wall. And then you're like, maybe I'll smack it back. And then handball was born. Sure, why not? They would tell you to go outside, go play, go do something, get out from under my feet while I do something else. That's how parents and grandparents were, right? And you would go outside and you would hang out and whatever else. And when you got tired of it or you got too hot, you'd go home, and generally speaking, obviously this is not for everybody, but in a general sense, you'd go home and you'd have a lunch or a drink or whatever else, maybe take a nap, because kids, we did tire out. And then you would go hang outside again. Hanging out at the beach, I was thinking to myself how kids today don't believe that we, my generation and older, were, I want to use the word allowed, because it felt safer at the time, allowed to just go ride your bike around the neighborhood. And as soon as those streetlights get on, your butt better be inside, because that was the warning. You see a streetlight come on, you better haul booty back home. It wasn't parents tracking you on Life 360. It wasn't a parent calling you. It wasn't, you know, a parent tethered to you like a helicopter or whatever, where you couldn't go anywhere and do anything. And it's not that everything was safer back then, but because we didn't have social media, it might have actually been safer, but it felt safer, and people weren't so scared because we weren't always looking at things to scare the crap out of us, right? I was telling my daughter about Kmart. I used to love going to Kmart when I was little. I thought it was the greatest thing because I could go to Kmart with my Nana and I could get an icy and I could get a popcorn, and that would keep me quiet while she walked around Kmart looking for stuff, and I would just walk behind her munching popcorn and drinking the blue icy before they had Dr. Pepper icy, which is the best icy, by the way. But I would walk behind her drinking a blue icy. By the time we left, my whole mouth is blue, my stomach is full of popcorn, and I need a nap, and I'm happy and good to go. Today, you see a lot of people bribing their kids still, because technically I feel like that's a bribe. Parents bribe their kids to just shush while we went through the grocery stores and whatnot. But today, instead of bribing the kids, well, kind of sort of bribing the kids, we were at, what grocery store was it? Not Publix. I don't remember where it was. It might have been Walmart. I cannot remember where it was. It might have been Walmart. We're walking through and all you hear is this child screaming bloody murder. And my first thought as a parent was, oh, hell no. Like, no. But today, you can't discipline a child at all without having the cops called on you and everything video recorded and thrown up on social media somewhere, whatever. But with this kid is screaming bloody murder. And I'm thinking to myself, if the mom does, and this is going to sound weird or wrong, I don't know, it depends, the right thing, she'll let him cry it out. And it'll be what it'll be. And people around them are going to have to deal with it. Because if you constantly give in to your kids screaming, they're going to be some crappy adults. Like, they're going to expect everything, right? And sure as crap, mom hands this kid a pack of cookies. Because I went looking. I wanted to see where the screaming was coming from. Because I'm nosy. She hands him a pack of cookies so the kid will quit screaming. Because, you know, people like to stare at parents like they're doing something absolutely horrible if their kid is having a meltdown, even though, you know, it is a child, a toddler, and they don't know better. They're learning emotions. They're learning all these things. So yelling at them isn't going to help anything except for make it worse. Giving in to them isn't going to help anything. It's going to turn them into soy boys or girls. And where's that happy medium, right? But the reason I tell you this is because we went to breakfast this morning after the beach, and y'all, I have a very hard time, and y'all can call me a Karen, y'all won't, but some people will, but the regular tribers here, SquirrelTribers here, you won't. But I have a very hard time keeping my mouth shut, but I let my face talk for me, so normally I don't say anything. We're waiting to eat breakfast, and there's this kid, he's maybe 2, probably not even 2, like looks like he's just now learning to walk, kind of mastered it, but not really. He's got a pacifier in his mouth that's attached to his shirt. He's a tiny kid, right? And somebody opens the door to go outside of the restaurant. We're standing in the waiting area, and there's a lot of people outside this door waiting also. Somebody opens the door to go out the restaurant, and this kid comes like flying in, because some reason kids with the shortest legs move the fastest, and kids that crawl move faster than adults. I don't understand the physics behind it. I just know that it's real and it's weird. So this kid makes it in to the door halfway, and the mom, in order to stop him, instead of, you know, walking in behind him and just picking him up or grabbing him by the back of the shirt, grabs his hand and yanks him up, and all I'm thinking is shoulder, and she flings him around and like basically plops him down on the concrete. Her whole entire family is there. They're all sitting on the bench watching everything. And every time this kid tries to move, she grabs him and yanks him back by his arm, like here. And all I can think about is the harm that she is causing him, number one, on his body. But also, when you treat children like that, they act a certain kind of way, and then they grow up to be certain kind of people. That's my thought process on this. I've never laid a hand on my child, because I don't need to. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I got my butt whooped numerous times as a child, and I learned, don't do that again, right? My daughter, she never did those things to begin with, so I didn't have to whoop her little butt. It was always, I was able to have the conversations with her, which I know sounds really stupid, but it's, you know, every once in a while there was a yell because you lose your shit, your poop. But I never spanked or anything like that. And so when I see this lady yanking this kid up by his arm, I'm like, that's the absolute worst thing you could do to a child. I saw somebody do that when I was younger. She yanked this kid out of a crib, and it popped his shoulder out of place, dislocated his shoulder. He's screaming in pain. His name is Kiefer. I remember this. I was in 7th grade. His name was Kiefer. I was at the babysitter's house. She yanks him up by his hand, same way this lady was doing, pulls his shoulder out of the socket and then like leaves him in the crib screaming. When his parents showed up to pick him up, she tells the parents that he fell and might have hurt himself. And I was like, no, he didn't. You pulled his arm and pulled his shoulder out of place. She smacked me. We didn't go back there. My mama would have beat her ass if police wouldn't have been involved at that point. But I don't know where I was going with that. All I know is when I saw that lady this morning, it made me think of that stuff, and everything is, you know, squirrel brained in my head. But the Mandela Effect thing. Right now, I didn't want to go political, but I have to do this one. So right now, there's a video out on X of Butler, Pennsylvania, and President Trump when he was, when they tried to assassinate him. And by they, you take whatever you want with that. When they tried to assassinate him. And the video is showing, I will repost it on X if you want to see it. I'm not going to do it over here. The video is showing how the whole thing looks staged. Okay, work with me here. The whole thing looks staged. Now, we saw when it happened. We were watching live. You saw when it happened. You saw all the videos after it. And this is over a year later. This new angle just happened to show up, right? And so they're showing this video now from the back of the stage or the front of the stage. And it's showing how after he got nicked by the bullet, shot by the bullet, that they were kind of moving him in place for photos on purpose. It looks like they started to lower the flag that was on the crane. They moved the people. They had him put his hand up, you know, that fight. And then they ushered in photographers right in front to start taking all these pictures and move with him to get all the pictures. And the way they're showing this video makes it look like everything was staged. They keep saying, look how staged this was. And it's like, okay, you're trying to tell me that the assassination attempt was staged, or you're trying to tell me that the photographers and the people there saw the opportunity to take photos of an event that had just transpired. But when you watch this video now, it gives Mandela effect to your brain. Your brain is going, wait, maybe it did look staged when it all happened. Or now you're looking at this going, is that AI? Is it even real? Like, what is real anymore? And it gives you that whole sense of, I feel like, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like we're all being pulled like puppets, and it's all just blah. That's the best way I know how to explain that. Blah, right? Nothing really makes sense and adds up in the political realm right now. You have Chuck Schumer screaming about NPR and PBS being shut down, him and Elizabeth Warren. And it's like, well, if you're worried about it, why don't you Democrats donate a ton of money to it to keep it going? Like, if the funding is being taken away and you guys really want to keep it, why not put your money where your mouth is? Like, literally, instead of standing at a podium or on a platform and crying about it. Like, it all feels, all the world is a stage and we are merely players. Is that how it goes? Because that's what it feels like a lot of the times. So I've like I said, I've been trying to stay out of the political realm of it because it's too much. And I don't want to do it because it's making me lose my ever-loving mind some days. I'd rather talk about random things like Sinbad and the Mandela Effect and Fruit of the Loom and things like that. And the lady I saw this morning that should not have children, and the whole family that sat there and watched her treat her child like that and didn't do anything. So you kind of want to fight them all because they all suck. Stuff like that. That's it. That's really it. We will do videos that matter. I know this doesn't really matter, but that's the conversation that I wanted to have today. So thank you for letting me have the conversation, which I tell you guys all the time. Now I gotta go home and get ready because my sister-in-law and brother-in-law are here, and we're gonna go take pictures on the beach, family pictures. That's what I got her for her birthday, as a photographer, to take pictures of them on the beach because those are really pretty. And it helps the local photographer, it helps my family, so it's good. That's all. I love y'all immensely. I want to know if you've ever seen Shazam. I want to know if you have anything with a cornucopia on Fruit of the Loom. I want to know who's lying to us, our brains or the internet. That is all. I love you all. Goodbye.